Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I came here the other day for a walk with my son on our daily exercise, and as we were just exploring this area, which is like a little hidden valley down, there are some beautiful birds down at the bottom who are feeding off the berries and things that people have left out for them when they come along here. And we were here just really enjoying it, climbing, playing. There's actually a fox's den just over there. And as we were here, a dog came along. And my son is scared of dogs because a couple of years ago he was bitten by a dog twice. And ever since he's really feared. And we're working through that, thinking about how he can not be afraid of those dogs and the signs he can look for. But he's not there yet. And a dog came along and he panicked. And instead of coming to me, instead of being sensible, he decided in that moment that the best thing for him to do was climb a tree. So he climbed up this tree, and as he was at the top of the tree, the dog thought this was fascinating and was around him, barking at the bottom, looking up, desperately wanting to climb the tree after him. The dog was happy, there was nothing to worry about, but Mally was at the top of the tree because he didn't want to go near that dog, because he was afraid. I was thinking about this verse actually that day, and thinking about how actually life is really hard at times, isn't it? Even though I walk through the darkest valley, in some of the versions it says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. I don't know about you, but it feels like at the moment with this worldwide pandemic that perhaps we are in a dark valley. It feels pretty difficult, pretty dark at times. The amazing thing about this verse is that it talks about the darkness. It talks about the difficulty, the challenge. It talks about the fact that actually life is hard. But it also says we do not need to fear because he is with us. He is with us. And his rod and his staff, they comfort us. The rod and the staff were tools that a shepherd would use to keep the sheep safe. And whilst life is hard, we don't need to fear because our God is with us. Following Jesus doesn't mean that we don't have things to fear. Following Jesus doesn't mean that everything is right and wonderful and it's going to be okay every time. Life still happens, and life is still hard. But what it does tell us is that we have someone to lean on, someone to rest on, someone to turn to. And you know what? I wouldn't change that. Because we have this God who cares so much for us, and he is there. Standing over us, being our Father, willing to catch us, willing to pick us up when the dog comes. If we run to him, I think all too often we decide we can do it ourselves and we decide to climb the tree or run away. And actually that doesn't help. And all we need to do is turn to him. Because he is with us. He is with us. So I encourage you in this time, in a time that feels so surreal and so odd, in one of the darkest valleys, let's turn to him, because he is there to comfort us.